A civilization can persist only as long as it retains enough productive soil to feed its people. A landscape soil budget is just like a family budget, with income, expenses, and savings. You can live off savings for only so long before you run out of money. A society can remain solvent by drawing off just the interest from nature's savings account, losing soil only as fast as it forms. But if erosion exceeds soil production, then soil loss will eventually consume the principal. Depending on the erosion rates, thick soil can be mined for centuries before running out. Thin soils can disappear far more rapidly. Today, we're making a fort. Now, the main reason for making a fort is because you want to be able to tank certain attacks and add incredible amounts of damage. Now, to do this, we have a 4-socket, 8 enhanced defense Dusk Shroud. One of my personal favorite armors, and you know what? We're also going to do something else here. Let's go on to this rune shop. Now, what's pretty cool is that there's been a new innovation. Now, instead of like posting on websites for a transaction that you want to happen, now they have automated shops so that you just send in what your payment is, and it just automatically comes. So we need an L, a soul, a dole, and a low. So we're going to send in right here. Let's see. Y'all can't see this right now, but that's okay. Don't worry about it. It's just don't worry. If you know about the auto shops, then I'm just getting an auto shop. Buy. What am I buying? An L. 33. West softcore ladder. Game. And hit submit, and we should see something pop up fairly soon. I'm not gonna be like spamming this auto shop, because my fear is that if I spam it, it's gonna have overloaded. Oh, there it is. Okay, and drop the L. There it goes, and now he's off. All right, and now we just do the same procedure, except for a soul rune. Boom. 22. So we go buy 22. Submit. What? Okay. It asked me for some correction that was annoying. But no worries. Let's go. Yeah. Let's see. It should be popping up here pretty soon. Come on now. Meantime, let's go ahead and just read a little bit more. At the peak of the most recent glaciation, roughly 20,000 years ago, glaciers covered almost a third of Earth's land surface. Outside of the tropics, even unglaciated areas experienced extreme environmental changes. Human populations either adapted, died out, or moved on as their hunting and foraging grounds shifted around the world. Each time, Europe froze, North Africa dried, becoming an uninhabitable sand sea. There it is. Awesome. Sometimes it takes this Autoshop just a second to figure it out. Okay, and now we have an L and a soul. Now let's go ahead and go back to the Autoshop here. We need a dole, which is 20. Okay. Submit. Boom. All right. And now we're just going to wait. We're going to go back to reading. Let's see. Some migrated south back into Africa. Others ventured east into Asia or into southern Europe as periodic climate upheavals launched the great human migrations that eventually circled the world. Judged by the fossil evidence, Homo erectus walked out of Africa and ventured across East Asia, sticking to the tropical and temperate latitudes about 2 million years ago, just after the start of the glacial era. Fossil and DNA evidence indicates that the initial separation of Neanderthals from the ancestors of the genetically modern humans occurred at least 300,000 years ago, about the time that Neanderthals arrived in Europe and Western Asia. After successfully adapting to the glacial climate of the northwestern Eurasia, Neanderthals disappeared as a new wave of genetically modern humans spread from Africa through the Middle East around 45,000 years ago, and across Europe by at least 35,000 years ago. People continued spreading out across the world when Northern Hemisphere's great ice sheets once again plowed southwards, rearranging the environments of Europe, North Africa, and the Middle East. Oh! Perfect. Dole. Alright, now we got one more rune to go, and that is, of course, the low rune. So we're going to go back to the Autoshop. And 6. Okay. We're going to go right there. We're going to type 6. And we're going to type 10. Okay, and it should be popping up quite shortly. People continued spreading out across the world when the Northern Hemisphere's great ice sheets once again plowed southward, rearranging the environments of Europe, Northern Africa, and the Middle East. During the most recent glaciation, large herds of reindeer, mammoth, woolly rhinoceroses, and black elk roamed Europe's frozen plains. Ice-covered Scandinavia, the Baltic coast, northern Britain, and most of Ireland. Treeless tundra stretched from France through Germany, on to Poland and across Russia. European forests shrank to a narrow fringe around the Mediterranean. Early Europeans lived through this frozen time by following and culling herds of large animals. Some of these species, notably woolly rhinos and giant elk, did not survive the transition to the post-glacial climate. Extreme environmental shifts also isolated human populations and helped differentiate people into distinct appearances we know today as races. Skin shields our body and critical organs from ultraviolet radiation, but skin also must pass enough sunlight to support the production of vitamin D needed to make healthy bones. As our ancestors spread around the globe, these opposing pressures colored the skin of different people in different regions. The dominant need for UV protection favored dark skin in tropics. The need for vitamin D favored lighter skin in the northern latitudes. And there it is. There's our low. Okay. So, now we have our low. And just like that, we have L, Soul, Dole, and Low. This should create a fort, and let's see how it goes. "25 resistances, which is essentially the worst that you could do for resistance. And it looks Like I got, what is that? 101 divided by 90. 1.12 essentially. So probably like 1.125 is the percentage. So this is a pretty horrendous fortitude. And that sucks. You really want to shoot for like 1.5 life and 1 and 30 resistance, but that's okay. Actually, what I'm gonna do is put it on the mercenary for just a little bit.
Put that to good use.
And we're gonna take off the treachery for just a little bit. And we'll see how this mercenary likes it. He might like it a good bit, or in the meantime, we'll probably just try to use this for whatever gain that we can get. And that is creating a fortitude using an auto shop. Peace out, y'all.